Have you ever thought about what's hiding in your food, your water, even the air you breathe? The answer is something you can't even see. Microplastics. These tiny plastic particles, smaller than a grain of rice, are everywhere. They come from our clothes, our packaging, and countless everyday items. Scientists are now finding them deep inside the human body, in our blood, our lungs, and even in the placentas of newborn babies. What does that mean for our health? The research is still ongoing, but early studies suggest these particles could cause inflammation and damage our cells. It's a silent invasion we're just beginning to understand. It's time to ask bigger questions about the plastic we use every day. To learn more about this invisible threat, subscribe for more eye-opening content. This isn't science fiction. This isn't a conspiracy. Scientists have officially confirmed that microplastics are inside the human body. Over the last few years, multiple peer-reviewed studies have detected microscopic plastic particles in human blood, lungs, placentas, and even brain tissue. What was once a theory about environmental contamination has now become a measurable biological reality. Microplastics are tiny plastic fragments smaller than 5 millimeters. Nanoplastics are even smaller, invisible to the naked eye. They come from the breakdown of larger plastic waste. Synthetic clothing fibers, car tires, food packaging, bottled water, and even household dust. Because plastic does not fully biodegrade, it fragments into smaller and smaller particles, spreading through air, soil, rivers, and oceans. From there, it enters the food chain. In 2022, researchers in the Netherlands published a groundbreaking study in the journal Environment International showing that microplastics were found in the blood of nearly 80% of the people tested. The study detected particles from common plastics such as PET, polystyrene, and polyethylene. This was the first time microplastics were confirmed in human bloodstream samples, proving that these particles can circulate through the body. Another major concern emerged when scientists found microplastics in human lung tissue. A 2020 study published in Science of the Total Environment analyzed lung samples from surgical patients and identified plastic fibers deep in the lower regions of the lungs. These findings confirm that we are not only ingesting plastic through food and water, but also inhaling it through the air we breathe. Perhaps even more alarming was research published in 2023 detecting microplastics in human placentas. Earlier studies had already suggested this possibility, but confirmation raised serious questions about prenatal exposure. If plastic particles can cross the placental barrier, it means exposure may begin before birth. Researchers are still investigating the implications, but the discovery highlights how widespread contamination has become. More recently, scientists have explored whether microplastics can cross the blood-brain barrier, a protective system designed to shield the brain from harmful substances. Some experimental studies and post-mortem analyses suggest that extremely small plastic particles may reach brain tissue. While research is ongoing and scientists caution that more data is needed, the possibility has intensified global interest in understanding long-term neurological effects. It is important to clarify what scientists do and do not know. The presence of microplastics in the body does not automatically mean immediate disease. However, early laboratory studies suggest potential risks. Microplastics may trigger inflammation, oxidative stress, and cellular damage under certain conditions. Some plastics also carry chemical additives such as phthalates and bisphenols, which are known endocrine disruptors. Additionally, microplastics can act as carriers for environmental toxins and heavy metals, potentially increasing exposure levels. The World Health Organization has acknowledged the growing concern and called for further research into human health effects. The United Nations Environment Program has also highlighted microplastic pollution as a global environmental crisis. Meanwhile, production of plastic continues to rise worldwide, with hundreds of millions of tons produced each year. One major source of microplastic exposure is bottled water. Studies have shown that bottled water can contain significantly more microplastic particles than tap water. Synthetic clothing is another contributor. Every time polyester or nylon fabrics are washed, microscopic fibers are released into wastewater systems, many of which eventually reach oceans and freshwater sources. Tire wear from vehicles also releases plastic particles into the air and streets, where they are carried into waterways. Scientists are now trying to answer critical questions. How long do microplastics remain in the body? Can the body eliminate them naturally? Do they accumulate in certain organs over time? And what level of exposure becomes harmful? These questions require long-term epidemiological studies, which are currently underway in several countries. Despite the uncertainty, one fact is clear: microplastics are no longer just an environmental issue. They are a human health issue. The discovery of plastic particles in blood, lungs, and placentas represents a turning point in how we understand pollution. For decades, plastic was viewed as a durable, convenient material with minimal short-term consequences. Today, science is revealing that its durability may also be its greatest danger. Reducing exposure may involve practical steps such as limiting single-use plastics, avoiding excessive bottled water consumption, using air filtration systems indoors, and supporting policies that reduce plastic production and improve waste management. However, systemic change at industrial and governmental levels will likely be necessary to significantly lower global contamination. The idea that fragments of everyday packaging, clothing, and consumer goods are circulating inside the human body is unsettling. Yet it is supported by scientific evidence from respected journals and institutions. Research is still evolving, and scientists urge caution against panic. But they also emphasize urgency in understanding the full biological impact. Plastic was invented to last forever. Now researchers are discovering that small pieces of it may last inside us as well.